I stand here tonight in front of all of you, donors, sponsors, partners, volunteers, and mentors, humbled because I recognize that without this community, I would not be who I am and where I am today. See, everyone here has a story. Usually our stories start with where we were born or where we were raised. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. As an adolescent, I was raised on a side of town where you see a liquor store, a gentleman's club, and a daycare center, all on the same block. I was raised on a side of town where the crime rate is higher than the US average, particularly for violent crimes like homicide and sexual assault. I was raised on a side of town where 1 in every 4 families live below the poverty level. I was also raised on a side of town where less than 60% of adults have a high school diploma and less than 15% of adults have a college degree. Let that sink in. The reality is, this is true for some, if not many, of our scholars as well. The reality too, though, is that we scholars come from hardworking families that still believe in the American dream. The idea that a rigorous education for our children will open the door to prosperous opportunities. Not just prosperous in the sense of money, but opportunities that also fill our soul, mind, and body as well. For families like mine, Highsight is a resource of limitless potential. Highsight helped alleviate the burden of a private high school education for my parents back in 2009, when my father was getting his business off the ground and my mother was balancing a few administrative jobs. With Highsight's support, I was afforded experiences that altered the entire trajectory of my life and my family's too. Because of Highsight, I got to attend the best Catholic high school in the city, De La Salle Institute. Yes, sir, go Meteors. At De La Salle, I received a solid Catholic education and made lifetime connections through community service and sports teams like football and soccer. Let me tell you, nothing builds a bond like kicking St. Ignatius and St. Lawrence's butt on the gridiron on a Friday night. I'm sorry, Chris. I know you're out there somewhere. Because of Highsight, I got to learn about global citizenry as well. When Highsight coordinated my participation in a summer-long service program in Argentina. I'm still close friends with some of the other students from the summer program. They are the sons and daughters of real estate moguls in New York City, and they often call me for advice on how to manage their real estate and business portfolios. That would not be possible without Highsight. Because of Highsight, I was exposed to volunteers and mentors that not only helped with schoolwork, but also assisted with how to navigate a corporate internship. With Highsight's support, I earned admission to Furman University. From Little Village and Pilsen, I went to Greenville, South Carolina, or as they like to say down there, South Carolina. When I arrived on campus, it did not take more than 10 seconds for me to look around and feel like I didn't really fit in as a first-generation Mexican-American college student. But to be honest, guys, I knew my purpose was bigger than myself. I knew I couldn't afford to feel that way. After all, I was a Highsight scholar, and if this community believed in me, I too could believe in me. Therefore, at Furman, I wasted no time making my presence known. By the end of my first year, I was the first Mexican-American class president in Furman's history and first Mexican-American captain of the university's top 10 mock trial team. By the end of my second year, I founded and was president of a fraternity focused on diversity, inclusion, service, and scholarship. By the end of my third year, I completed a semester on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., and another in the Bay Area where I got to take courses at Stanford with the likes of Cornel West, Clarence B. Jones, Condoleezza Rice, and Dolores Huerta. And by the end of my fourth year, I earned national recognition as a top collegiate mock trial attorney and earned admission to the John Marshall Law School and later to WashU Law in St. Louis, where I was the only Mexican American in my graduating class. Graduating scholars, please notice how intentional I am about using the word earn. We do not get or deserve success. We earn it. We do not get or deserve greatness. We earn it. How do we earn success? How do we earn greatness? You make sacrifices and you take risks. Here's one of my favorite quotes. If you go forward in the face of overwhelming odds, you risk failure. If you place your dreams in front of a crowd, like I'm doing right now, you risk ridicule. If you reach out for another, you risk rejection. If you love, you risk not being loved in return. But risk must be taken, for the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, has nothing, does nothing, is nothing. The person who goes through the next 4 or 8 years without making meaningful sacrifices and without taking risks, they might avoid suffering, they might avoid pain, and they might avoid embarrassment. But that individual will not learn, that individual will not grow, feel love, or change. Only the person who makes sacrifices and takes risks is truly successful and truly great. Young scholars, from the moment you step on your college campuses, be strong, be decisive, and be ambitious, even if it makes others uncomfortable, including especially yourself. Be committed to conquer Monday morning as much as you are to conquering Friday evenings. Do what it takes to set yourself apart, and most importantly, do not lie to yourself. Set a standard, set a routine, and execute with no excuses. Our Constitution, our institutions, and our democracy are depending on your leadership. What are you going to do about that? You have a whole community behind you. Look around. To whom much is given, much is expected. When you face pressure on your upcoming journey, remember that you are built different. Sometimes there's a lot put on us. I can acknowledge that. But it's put on us because we can take it. You may not think you can sometimes, and heck, you may even mess up sometimes, but only you can wear your shoes. And if you didn't ask for this responsibility, guess what? That's too damn bad. You cannot run from your destiny, so you might as well make up your mind and get ready to ride this ride until the wheels fall off. There are people, including in this room, investing in your potential. Make sure you pay them back with your success and greatness. If you only get one life, why not risk being great? Thank you.